everybody, welcome back. Today we were just kind of chit-chatting and talking about some subjects that came up over the week that, this happens sometimes where we just chit-chat about whatever. And, just talk about change and authenticity and social media, the whole, everything, so we just wanted to kind of get into that and hear you guys' thoughts on it. I know that when, and we talk about this often because a lot of the reason why we even started doing these videos was because we fell onto a hardship. If you watch our first video, it's, the homelessness, being broke, all the things you can think of that went wrong. And, in that moment there was no trying to figure out, there's not a moment where I was like, it all happens for a reason, not when you're going through it. It's really difficult to get to that place. And so, but yeah, we talk about that a lot because it's really what brought us here to do this. And so now when I speak to people, and I know they're going through a hard time, I always tell them, like, yeah, you don't see it yet, but what's happening with you is there's a higher purpose for what you're doing. So in retrospect, what happened with us, losing everything and starting all over, like, what do you think, what was the purpose? There's a purpose for stuff. So what do you think the purpose was?
I mean, when we came home, I wanted to come home. I was done with, New York. And I think, I was telling you the other day that I think we have a pulling inside of us to do things. And maybe it's exciting when you're about to do it because you need to do something, or you feel excited about starting a new venture or but then there's always, whenever you get into it, if it doesn't look the way you thought it was going to look, because we're always trying to control our lives, then we get afraid because we don't know what the next move is, and we don't know what, how long we're going to be in it, or the steps we need to take, and then our emotional self has to match up with the moves.
Yeah, that's hard.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of people think that, oh, well, you should just, pull yourself together and, get yourself a job.
Yeah.
But if you're depressed, that is a really hard fight to fight. You know what I mean? It's not, mental illness is real. You know what I mean? And if you're going through some sort of depression, it is really hard for someone just to, it's like when someone's overweight, you tell them just to eat right.
Yeah.
You can't just do that. There's something psychologically going on. But whenever you just start a new venture and, it feels like you're doing the right thing, then all of a sudden things happen. It is for a reason. But you just don't know it yet. You just have to keep, going through it.
Yeah, because I didn't feel like when we came back, like, I felt like, because when we got back, it was weird, right? So it was also very strange. But then, like, 2-3 years ago, when Mom had cancer. So when my mom had breast cancer, she had breast cancer, survived, she's doing very well, but she did have breast cancer, and then I started to realize slowly but surely maybe we were supposed to be home. You know what I mean? Because again, like I was saying before, that I wasn't supposed to even be in Indiana. This was not, I was supposed to be moving to another state from New York to another state, so I wasn't going to be staying in Indiana, but it ended up happening where I had to stay. And, I stayed in Indiana, but now the progression of things that happened since we've been home, I made me realize that maybe I was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
That was supposed to end. There's things that are supposed to end in your life. Not, you know what I mean? Like, not everything is supposed to just be the same all the time. So when things end in your life, that just means a whole nother door, I think, is opening. I think it's just opening for you. So if you feel like it's not, like you don't understand why things are happening, you have to look at it, I feel like, a different way. Sometimes a door is just opening for you, or maybe you're being rebuilt in some way. You're being rebuilt in some way. So it's uncomfortable. Yeah. But when things change, it's uncomfortable. Right. I feel like change is really important. Right. I'm somebody, I don't like change. I'm a homebody. I'm routine. I'm a very routine person. So
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's pretty routine. So when change happens, when things shift, I don't. Initially, I don't do well. Some people do. My mom, she's really good with change. My mother can. Things can change and she's just fine.
Right.
She accepts that, but it is hard for if it's hard for you, it's not. It's for a good reason. So
I always think, well, the reason why things happen like that, where you lose everything, and it's because you just aren't living right.
even initially, like
So
before.
universally, it's just the universe is always gonna change you. It's gonna make you want to. It's gonna change it if you don't.
Right. And if you don't listen, because there's signs, right?
Right.
So there's signs, and if you don't listen to the signs, then everything will get shut down on you.
Right.
I think that's what we did.
I think that
I know I did.
I knew that I wanted. I think I came home because I wanted to start a family. I wanted to get married and everything, and then all that came crumbling down.
Yeah.
But I feel like that isn't. I think that is the intention of coming home.
Yeah.
That was the reason why I left. But that doesn't mean that that's not going to happen. It just. I don't think I was ready for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I
I
agree.
think sometimes we want things and we don't realize that our lives have to be different.
Yeah.
And that we have to be different.
Right.
To have certain things in our life. And so a lot of things that we that we can't understand why it's happening, it will make sense later.
Yeah. A lot of people say, why me? Because I know I've done that. Why me? Why is this happening to me? You really have to ask, what should I learn from this? I think I heard this from Oprah, where she was like, in those moments, in those times where things are really tough, and you're like, why is this happening to me? Then you really do have to change the way you're speaking and say, what am I supposed to learn from this? What are you having?
Right.
Why is this shift happening? What did I miss? What can I learn from it? And that's, again, it is hard to do when you're going through it. But I will say, even when we were going through that hard time, I was able to do that. There's a point where you're at your wit's end. You've lost pretty much everything.
Yeah.
You're lost. You're sad. You're depressed. You're just, and you just don't understand, like, why is this happening to me? Well, then who should it happen to?
Yeah.
Who should it happen? Who should it happen to? It shouldn't happen to anybody, right? So you have to learn from it, and then you are able to help people with your testimony, which is, I think, kind of what we're doing with this whole thing, is that we're just kind of taking parts of our lives and things that we learned in our lives and things we're still learning in our lives and sharing it with you guys as a part of our testimony. So I do think that does help people.
Yeah.
Do you ever wish this didn't happen? Like this whole situation. Like, is there ever a time where you're like, gosh, I wish this never happened? Or do you think that I often think that sometimes. I wonder what would happen if this didn't happen, but on the other hand,
I mean, I don't think it didn't happen. I did. You know what I mean? But I don't think it because I think that it's supposed to happen.
right.
I feel like when you don't want something, or you start, I feel like it's just unproductive to say, I wish something didn't happen when it's happening.
Right.
I mean, it can't help you now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That it's just like, saying you want something that you don't have right now.
Right.
Longing for it like you're never going to get it,
Right.
But I think that I'm happy that it happened because it changed the way I think.
Yeah. Because
About everything.
Everything. Money, men, just the outlook on life in general, spirituality, like everything kind of this I was like in your darkest times, if you can kind of lift yourself out of there, you'll see the higher purpose of it all.
Yeah.
And then it makes you feel closer.
It's like one of the reasons
to
why
God.
I hate this social media world is because I think it makes people fake.
The social
And
media.
it makes people. I think people would feel better about themselves if they didn't feel like they had to present.
I think to be real with who they are. Yeah.
Like they had to make a fake facade of themselves. I think it puts a lot of pressure on people, especially when life doesn't turn out the way that the world says it's. The world says you're supposed to have everything in line, and I think that
when your life doesn't go that
direction. It doesn't go that direction, which it's really interesting. I don't think most people's lives go that direction.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we still hold this standard.
Yeah.
That you know, you're supposed to be married by a certain age, you're supposed to have children by a certain age, you're supposed to be successful by a certain age, you're supposed to be ready for retirement at a certain age, you're supposed to, and everyone knows this, success, and mostly just life is just not like that. It's not perfect. You don't, you make mistakes, and you don't come with, your life doesn't come with directions.
Yeah,
you just live it.
It's not all.
You know what
it's
I mean?
not. Yeah, that's the. It's not all. Like you said, it's not all perfect.
I was
but,
watching Joel Osteen the other day, and he made a good point. And it was interesting because, you know, it's easy for him, and he actually said this, it's easy for him, he says, easy for me to say that people should do things a certain way. He said, but I was raised with two loving parents that encouraged me, and they were married, and I had that example of a man in my life, and I had the example of a woman that stood by her man, and I was raised with faith, and we, you know, we had money, you know. He was just like, but a lot of people aren't raised that way, and he was just like, and so you really have to run your own race. Yeah. Everybody's road to success and clarity in their life doesn't look exactly the same. Yeah,
that's very true. That's very true. So you can't always wait for perfect conditions.
No.
In situations. But you know, you were telling me that somebody, or we had a subscriber that said what they liked about what our videos is that we are not, or we're still going through.
Oh yeah, and
we're better. I mean, obviously we're doing well, but we are still in a uncomfortable circumstance. You know what I mean? To some people, you know, to us it's kind of like, you know, we're living our life and doing what we can with our life, and trying to better ourselves every single day, and making strives to, you know, to do that. But I thought it was interesting that she said, this is a subscriber,
most people only talk about their hard times when they've already succeeded.
Yeah,
when the hard time is over and they're in the success. Most celebrities aren't going to talk about their hard time while they're still going through it. They talk about it. You know, like, what's his name? Maxwell said he lived in his car. But he didn't talk about that while he was living in his car.
He won a Grammy.
And he lived in his car. But he didn't talk about it. He talks about it now because it's all over. And she said most people don't talk about their hard time. Most people don't talk about the positive of life while they're still in the storm. Yeah. They usually talk about it once the storm is over. Yeah. Or
they talk about it when the storm's happening, but act as if it's not. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll try to act as if it's not. And I just... You know, like, I think it's important to be really transparent, you know, when you do stuff like this, to be able to be real with people, like, to not put out a false image of you. So I'm not embarrassed about my life. You know, I'm assuming you're not embarrassed about your life. And I think that what you go through can really help people. So, you know, I really appreciate the subscriber saying that, because that's kind of like what we wanted to kind of exude to people, is that you can still be going through something, you know what I mean? But you can still find a way to be positive through it. And then, you know, and there's people out there that understand. Because the one thing it's hard is when you feel alone. I know that it's the hardest thing when you feel, when you're going through something and you feel like you're the only one going through that. And it's just a very lonely, scary feeling. And, you know, you're not, if you're going through something, you are not alone. Like, I understand a lot of hardships. Yeah. You know, we've been through some hardships. You know, we're going through some hardships. We're going through an odd time in our lives. And it's been going on for a little while now, but we're trying to, you know, just trying to get out positive energy out there in the world, you know.
But I think that's why I said I hate social media sometimes. Yeah. It's because I think that we have, in a weird way, it's like people aren't celebrities, but they have what celebrities do. Yeah. Now it's just like, well, celebrities have always had to show their best face. Yeah. They, even through their divorces and all of that, they always have, you know, public relations people and people who make them look okay. They make them look, you know, they live well, and no matter what they're going through, it always looks great. Right. You know what I mean? But now we do it. Yeah. So we do it with Facebook, and we do it with, and there'll be people who are always trying to, I feel like people now, they do things just to post something. Oh yeah, it's all like it's, you know what I mean? Like, they do good deeds just to put it on Facebook. Yeah. And show that they're doing a good deed. Yeah. So they can get likes. Yeah. Instead of just doing the good deed out of the kindness of your heart. Right. You know what I mean? It's like everything is a picture, a live chat thing. Yeah. You know, everything is like that. And in some way, I think it makes it harder for people to go through a storm, because then you feel like you aren't a part of that world, or you feel
Yeah.
like you have to make up a life.
Yeah.
You know,
And just not be real with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so social media
it's like I like it.
plays a big part
I
in
like it.
why
I
people
mean,
don't
we're
fucking
doing
be real.
something on social media. This
Yeah.
is social
Yeah,
media.
it's social media.
I like it. It's not that I wish it never happened. It's just that I feel like good people act fake.
They feel
You know
like
what I mean?
they feel like you can't be yourself.
Good people
Yeah.
feel like they have to do more
Yeah.
than you know. Like any given day, any given day, I'm sitting at home watching TV, working
Yeah.
out. I work out in the morning, but that's boring.
Yeah.
But it's fun to me.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is why I never really post.
Yeah.
It's because I don't like. It's like even when you know, like if me and you hang out, I don't even like taking pictures of us.
We don't normally take when we go out. Usually when I'm with people in general, I don't. I enjoy. I'm old school in that way though, where I like my phone and all that. I like the technology and all that, but there's something about when you're with people that you just want to enjoy the moment and not have to take a picture of your food and you know
There's some
snapshots and everything.
There's some aspects of the old days I miss.
Yeah, lots.
You know, like sometimes I love my cell phone, but I remember the years when we had to remember numbers.
Yeah.
And we had to just, you know, I remember when we had to, when you hung out with people, it wasn't on, you know, Skype or you hung out with people in the flesh.
Right.
When you went to go see something like a Christmas tree lighting, or you went to you went and you just everybody just enjoyed the moment.
Enjoy the moment.
And I feel like now you go and the Christmas tree's lit up, and so is everybody in the audience with lights.
Because everyone's doing this, no one's enjoying
that.
the moment. Everyone's just
know?
taking pictures and selfies and
And
stuff.
I think that it also hurts your personal life.
Yeah.
Because now you feel like you have to look appealing to people for no reason.
Yeah.
For no reason, but to feel like you're
Right.
with it. I don't know.
There just has to be more. There has to be more. There's not enough genuine things going on. People. I think there's genuine people, but people are afraid to be themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think people are afraid to be themselves because they don't want to. They don't want people to think that they're going through something. They don't want people to know about any of that. You know, and it's so much so that they try to keep their life. They become fake. And phony.
Good people become fake.
And that's not good, you know.
I would say that, like, I mean, I don't know. I just think I think that authenticity is also making people afraid of being different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like you just have to be authentic with yourself. What is it that you really, really want in life, and not be afraid to do it.
Yeah.
And not be afraid to look stupid. And not be afraid. Don't hold back.
Yeah.
You know, say what you really want, and I don't care how stupid it looks to other people. You know, that is hard. I know that sounds easy. That's an easy way to say something that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Because we all have to take our mask off, and we all have to take our egos off, and be normal.
Yeah, people don't really want to do that. That's a difficult.
I mean, as everybody, you know what I mean. But I think that's why I hate this. That's the one thing I hate about this time period. It's just that I feel like, I don't know. We were more together before we got so connected.
Right. We
understood each other more before we got all connected.
It's an odd disconnection with the connection.
Yeah.
Right. So I see what you're saying. Like you just, it's important to just try to be yourself and don't try to don't let social media dictate your life, y'all. Like people are doing the most with that. So don't let it dictate your life, and try to be yourself. Don't be embarrassed about your life, which is the reason why what you're saying is because a lot of people are just embarrassed about where they're at in their life. So that's why they're not being real on social media. Right. It's not because they're bad people. It's because there's something going on with them. They don't want people to know the real deal. Whereas I just don't care. I mean, I feel like
it's like reality TV in real life.
It's
like people, like those people on reality TV don't really live like that.
That's
At some
whack.
point, you watch TV and don't do something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You're not always doing something all the time.
Right.
And so it's like when I see a lot of people, I think to myself, do you ever just sit down
and chill out
with your friends? Do you always have to? Do you always have to pull out your camera every time you meet someone?
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know what I mean? Do you ever just want to meet somebody? There are people that I know that I never want to run into.
We were talking about this.
People I never want to run into because all I want to do is say hi.
Not naming any names, but there's people that we know that
I literally just want to say
I look at their social media feed and I'm like, man, every time they bump into somebody, they break out their camera.
Oh my God.
I'm like, man, I hope they never bump into me.
Please. I just want to say hi. I don't want to be on TV. I'm just I hate to say I just hate being fake. I hate it, and I feel like
horrible.
I can't even do it. Like this is why, even on my Facebook page, it's just so hard for me to pretend.
Yeah,
I just won't do it. Like it's just like, you know what I mean. Like sometimes I'll put I'm working out because it'll get me to work out.
Yeah, it'll make you so
because you don't want to be a liar.
Right.
Now you feel like you put out in the universe. Now you're accountable.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take pictures of my coffee cups.
No,
and I don't want to take pictures of. I don't know. Like I hate it.
You see people that
good people be fake.
I see people that stand by cars that are not theirs and take a selfie with it and say it's their car. I would feel disgusting.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the people who take pictures of themselves looking serious and they go, when you're in deep thought? Like,
oh yeah.
No, you're not in deep thought. You know, or like women who take a really good picture and instead of just putting the really good picture up, they have to have some philosophy conversation before. Oh, when you know you're a good woman, and it's just like, no, you just like the picture.
Yeah.
You don't have to give me a 4th of July speech just because you took a really good picture of yourself. Just put the picture out. You know, when I do put pictures out, sometimes I just put it out.
Yeah, that's all I was wondering.
That's it. I don't even put anything above it, except if it's my birthday,
right,
or something. It's just like I feel like when you're in deep thought, I'm like, you're not in deep thought. You're taking a photo.
Right.
You know, like you're not.
Right. I just want people to feel more comfortable.
And I hate it when I like the person.
Yeah, I know. That gets even worse.
Because I have to like the picture because I like them.
Yeah.
But I just don't like what they're doing.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know, right?
That when I like a person, and when I like a person, but I know that they're not being authentic right now, but because I like them,
you support their page.
I want to support them, but then they do something corny like a serious looking face, and say they're in deep thought. And I'm like, you're not in deep thought. You're taking a picture.
You're not.
Or some girl takes a really good picture because goes, beauty's from within. Yeah, but you like your picture.
Yeah.
Right now you're talking about outer. Right now you're talking about outer beauty.
All right, you guys. So this is a pretty quick video today. So thank you guys for watching. As always, like and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube and as well as on Facebook too. All of it is Convos with Kara and Danielle. So please support our page and support our channel. Thank you guys for watching, and we shall see you next Tuesday. Bye.